Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we have a new humble bundle of interest to game developers. This is the Krotos sound effects and plugins for sound design bundle. Now when you first look at it, it looks like a pretty small bundle, but that is very misleading because these two contain a hell of a lot of stuff. So this is kind of a three-part bundle if you want to look at it this way. This one and this one are huge sound effect libraries. We'll show you the contents of those in just a minute, but basically think of them as giant zip files of waveform audio files, mostly Foley effects, special effects, that kind of stuff. Great for using in games or in your movie or whatever else you're working on. I will also get into the license details in just a second as well. On top of that, you're getting two VST plugins. One is the Concept 2 plugin, and the other one is the Simple Concept plugin. I will also show you those in action. Those are basically both synthesizers. And then we've got Krotos Studio, which is a subscription. It is a cool product. I will show you the basic version of it, but you're getting a 3-month subscription of it, and I'm going to explain why I'm only going to show you the basic version as opposed to the subscription version as we move along. So when you get these, you basically redeem them on the Krotos site, except for the subscription. Sadly, that is a different registration, which is really stupid. But what you'll notice here is each one is available as a straightforward download. You can download them from their websites, and you're going to notice the starter pack and this guy right here. Well, this one is 10 gigabytes, and this one is 41 gigabytes. On the right side, infinite number of re-downloads, so it doesn't matter. You need space back, you can get your space back. Now, the part of the subscription part that is kind of stupid, well, for one, it is a different site that you used for subscribing to it, and two is this part. You will enter card details to authenticate your order. You will pay anything if the coupon offers you a full discount, but you do need to put in a credit card to proceed with the subscription part. And I know that is going to be a deal breaker on that part for some people, but do keep in mind that is just for the Krotos Studio. And if you look at the MSRP parts of things, it's not the big star here, even though it's the top thing. You could just completely axe this out from the bundle, and the rest of the bundle is actually really, really valuable. So this is, you can just look at it as an add-in, and if you're willing to go through with putting your credit card in, you can get a 3-month subscription. Basically, you get a redemption code for it. And to be honest, Krotos Studios actually looks kind of cool, as we will see in just a second. So as with all humble bundles, it is organized into tiers. You buy a higher value tier, you get all of the stuff below it. So like in this case, if you get the $1 tier, you're getting the 2 VSTs I'm going to demonstrate here. Then if you go up to the median tier, you get the starter library of assets, and then finally for the full fat, you're getting the giant 51 gigabytes of assets, as well as Krotos Studio, a 3-month subscription. Again, do be aware there is unfortunately that credit card requirement there. In terms of the license, it is available right here. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer. But going through it, it seems to pretty much say you can use it commercially. But the one thing that you're going to be limited by, you can't use it in... you can't use it as part of another asset pack or anything along those. You have to basically use it in a derived work. But your work can be a game, something resold, reshared, whatever. The other thing that you want to know about this one is the license is to one person. So if you've got multiple people working with the audio files, this is a single user only license. So that's one of the only particular catch-ups on the licensing side of things, but for the most part, very straightforward licensing. Now let's go look at what you actually get out of this. So we're gonna head on down here, go into my downloads folder. This is where I've got both of these now. So here is the starter library. You're gonna find it's a bunch of straightforward audio files into a variety of different categories. Very useful stuff here. So for example, gun effects. So if you need to have AK-47, Dragunov, C-75, HK-416. So you're getting a ton of sound effects here. You're getting an idea of what they're all about. Here's a Winchester. So that's the cocking. I would have thought one of those would be shooting, but you get an idea. So those are some of the examples from it, and then we got other ones here like magic, more made-up stuff, or various different surfaces, so wood on wood, for example. So you're getting a ton in that pack. The other pack over here, you can see I've extracted that one out. This is the fundamentals. This one is huge. So this was the 51 gigabyte thing. The audio files, you're going to see, again, broken into a number of different categories. So let's say, for example, birds. Here's bird songs, birds chirping. That's very long. I'm only going to play a very small sample of that one. And then we've got motors, servo motor. So And let's go over here. We've got ambient sound. Here's vehicles, for example, and very specific. So car switches. Here's a Ford F-150. Various different sounds. Here's the sound of a Ford F-150 door closing. Exactly. So huge number of sound effects, and also you'll notice metadata here. I think that this incorporates in with their other tool. Time to talk about that one. Their tool is this guy right here, Krotos Studio. So this is what you're getting the 3-month subscription of. It's actually very neat. So you can see here, if you've got like Cinematic Blast, you pick it over here, and then you've got this mixer over here. So you go like so. So let's go sci-fi, for example. I think it was, where did that go? Might be under weapons. No. Well, there's another example. Folly. So you got clothing. So over here, you can say, okay, this is a jacket or a bag or more keys here. So let's do a little bit of jacket in over here, and then it's the sound of those working. You've also got quick fixes you can do over here. So if you want to make it further away, you do over there, and you're sort of mixing the various different features together. Do the same thing for footsteps, so you could have it. All right, so boots, and you see various different options for boots. So you could have it a person walking, clean steps, grittier, walking through puddles, wetter, and so on. And then when you're done, the recording comes down here, and basically you can now just drag that off. So here we go, back here, drag that off as a file, and then boom, it comes out that way. Or if you're working with some kind of a DAW, you can have it come over there. Speaking of which, let's show you the last part, which is the 2 plugins, the VSTs that are available at the free tier. So I'm just go ahead and load up Mixcraft. So this is my DAW of choice, but you could use whatever you want. If you use Reaper or, you know, FL Studio or whatever you work with, these are standard VSTs, so it works just fine. So let's go over here. We'll show you the first one in action. That is Simple. Okay, so here, go to VST Eyes. One thing you'll notice is that tool itself that we were just looking at. So this guy over here, Krotos Studio, is also available as a VST3. Doesn't work great in my case, by the way, so just one of those things to be aware of. The first one we've got is Simple Concept. This is, again, a synth with a variety of defaults available here. So pick what you're interested in. And again, very straightforward at this point in time. And then the other one here is much more complex. It's the Concept synth. And this one actually has some really cool features in it. Again, straightforward, has a number of presets in it. But what I actually find really cool is you go into, like, say, for example, the cinematics, and we go over to horror. We've got things like, actually, no, it's not cinematic I want. It's effects. Effects, horror, and then something like creaks. So there's a bunch of neat kind of creepy effects going on there. You can find there's actually a lot in the horror category. And then we've got, again, horror sounds. And then, of course, straightforward stuff as well. So future lead guitar. And so on and so forth. So it all works together regardless of what kind of DAW you're working with. So once again, you could come back over here, grab that recording you did, and pop it in over here. At the same time, anything that you used from the sound effects library. So let's go in here and find a standard sound effect. You work with whatever tool you're working with, no problem. So let's go here, doors, here, boom, drop that in. Let's go back over here, grab something from the ambiances. So ambiances, tent flap, drop that in there. And then here is there's our variety of sounds working together. So obviously you could drop these directly into your game of choice or however you happen to be working with them. I just happen to be in a DAW as we were talking. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the bundle. It's the Krotos sound effects and plugin for sound design bundle. Again, this one requires a subscription and you need to put your card in to use it. You get 3 months out of it. But even if you just ignore that, the rest of this bundle is easily worth it. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.